Welcome back, folks. MTG Joe here. New season, which means we need to start going for Mythic again. Finished last season at 98% Mythic, I think. 97, 98. Tried to make a little bit of a run to close it out to see if I could hit top 1200 again. We're already qualified, so it didn't really matter. But I was playing an iteration of this burn deck in Historic. Went 8-2 with it. Made a couple changes, and we'll take it for a run. The games go by pretty quick, and it has games against most decks. You're just burning out your opponent. The gist of the deck, you have kind of a wizard sub-theme. You have Lava Runner and Viashino Pyromancer. That plays well with Wizard's Lightning. Then you have a Steam-Kin plus the Experimental Frenzy. Generally have like 3 of them. They're not the best in multiples because they're kind of, you take your turn 2 play off, and if they kill it, it's a pretty big tempo play. But once it gets going, it's pretty good. Especially with the Frenzy, you could kind of pop off on some turns. And then the main kind of iteration in the main board, I originally had 4 Rampaging Ferocidons, but at times it was a little clunky. So playing 3. This shuts off life gain. It shuts off Urza's life gain coming in. Pings all the Field of the Dead tokens. Against Cat Oven, it kind of messes with the Cat Oven shenanigans. So it's been really good in that case. Also, the Menace is really reasonable as well, just to kind of push through additional damage. And then what I'm trying to add now is 2 Fanatical Firebrands. So I cut 1 Rampaging Ferocidon and then 1 Lavamancer. Firebrand is another play on 1. It has haste, so it can attack down like a Teferi or something. It also allows you to, another way to trigger Spectacle on turn 2. So ways to kind of enable these a bit earlier. Pillar of Flames is another shock style effect. Sorcery speed, but it does have the upside of exiling. Then you're playing your shocks, your lightning strikes, Wizard's Lightning, Skewer the Critics, light up the stage for card advantage. And then we're playing 3 castles and 18 mountains. A little bit higher on the mana count, but I found going lower, even with 21, sometimes you get mana screwed. You usually want to keep 2 landers. Our companion is Jegantha. It's a free roll for the companion, so we're going to play it. It's a 5 mana 5/5 that you can use at times. Sideboard wise, Tormod, Crypt for graveyard strategies, Redcap Melee versus goblins and Gruul style things. Shieldbreaker mainly for the Cat Oven decks. Lava Coil as additional removal, good against 4 toughness. The Gruul, the Stompy decks. Chainwhirler versus like Elves style strategies or Weenies. Volcanic Fallout is a card from Jumpstart that's been pretty good. It helps even the field against Field of the Dead decks. You can reset their board, plus it does the bonus of dealing 2 damage. Most of our creatures will die, but generally in the field matchup, at that point, if they're assembled enough of a board, then it's a fine play. And then I kind of have a flex spot. I've been trying a couple different things. I've tried 4 mana Chandra that you uptick for card advantage, that exiles. I've tried Rekindling Phoenix. I've tried that new Phoenix that you can get from the graveyard by paying a mana if your opponent took 3 life. I'm thinking Karn because it allows me to keep Jegantha in those matchups when I want card advantage. It doesn't play around the restriction like Chainwhirler or Chandra's would. It's card advantage, and it could also create tokens. And I don't want to go more than 4 mana in that slot. May want to also try the new Chandra as well, the 5 mana one, but it seems a little high in terms of the mana count. So we'll try this out, see how it goes. See how quick. Usually at the beginning of the season, I just play fast decks to try to get into Mythic, and then we start kind of refining kind of the slower decks. I'll probably also run, there's the mono white auras deck. I finally got my wildcards replenished. Jumpstart's had a number of effects on my wildcard stash. Just the interaction model of how to accumulate. This first kind of day or 2 is going to be a bloodbath in these mid ranks. Sounds great. So I have the option here. I could shock plus Wizard's Lightning on 2, so I could potentially deal 5-7 damage on turn 2. I'm going to think we just go Viashino this turn, because I'd rather point if this is a red based match. If this is like goblins or something, I want to use this as removal. Yeah, so it's like the Death Dweller version. So here, I'm going to just be mana efficient, play this, and then attack him down. The Goblins matchup's actually pretty good. Okay, so they have Chainwhirler. Just take that out. So this is actually interesting. I could bring this to hand this turn. And then next turn, if I hit the land, I think we do that. They have a Wily Goblin. So I think what we do here is if they double block, then I could Firebrand one of them. Seems like a reasonable trade. And I just need to throw damage. If they mux us, then we're dead at that point, probably. So generally this matchup's a race. Whoever can throw the most damage at the opponent first. Okay, so that complicates the combat math a bit. Well, here's my 5/5. I had some people on Twitter asking and Instagram like why we're playing this for matchups like this, where we've kind of flooded out. It gives us the option. Just gonna play the lands here. If we draw Frenzy, then it helps. So they're trying to draw into Call or a Muxus here. They do have a Chainwhirler in the graveyard. Okay. Lavarunner down. A bit scary. Think we need to hold back. This is super annoying. We've drawn 8 lines here now. Nine lines. Okay, that's not bad. If they try to pop off, they might die. No point attacking in. This is doing a good job stonewalling the opponent. That's scary. So I think we need to take them off one of these. As much as I want to go face here, there's too much damage coming back. Post board, this matchup gets a bit easier. We get to bring in the Volcanic Fallouts. So you can imagine in this board, we just sweep everything. 2, 4, 6, 8, 11. Yeah, we're dead. That's the variance of it. Like, we drew 8 lands in our deck that doesn't have that many lands. So generally in this matchup, I look to cut usually a couple Pyromancers because they get swept up. And the Steam-Kins can usually come out. And then I cut 2 light up the stage. Probably play another Pyromancer because I have Chainwhirler. These light up the stages don't usually... Like, you're going to have a hard time getting through damage. I think we just run it like that. Good amount of burn. Oh, you have to take out your companion in this matchup. I think we go like that. Hey, Magic Dario, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so the one thing is we don't have a threat for this hand, but lots of removal is good. So I'm actually going to do this to set up my light up the stage this turn. Okay, so 2 more pieces of burn. They have a call on top. Oh, nice. No worries about Scion. The whole point of me putting out the content is for people to play the decks. I think we take 2 this turn. I'd rather save this for like Chainwhirler. So this is where like you'd want a threat to follow up. Like we're killing everything, but we don't have the supporting pressure for our opponent right now. This is worth killing though. At this point, I'd even take like a Firebrand or something. Chainwhirler is a good draw here. I would take that. Ferocidon, obviously. We're going to draw another land. It's a bad showing for the deck. Well, the good thing is we're on platform floor. They have Chainwhirler on top. Death Touch, Menace. Chainwhirler. Give me a Chainwhirler. Chainwhirler 1 time. So this is actually really interesting. I think we have to take them off the Snoop. Just from a card advantage standpoint. It's quite annoying. Yeah, we're probably dead here. And the Goblins matchup, like I said, it's a race. It's really dependent on whether or not you hit your stuff. Both these games we've drawn more lands than I think any mono red deck has ever drawn. And that's without Frenzy. We just drew into those. And the thing too is we also played a light up the stage early to clear up some cards off the top. Had we not, we would have been even further into the mess. But generally what you want with these hands are like a 1 or 2 drop to put some pressure and then burn to surround it, either as removal, like for a tempo kind of strategy. I'm going to keep this hand. One line's a little bit of a gamble, and I've been punished before by this, but we effectively have 3 1-mana plays if we want. And then we can start chaining some Steam-Kins together. think if they play Elf and we draw a land, if they're on some sort of... Okay. So they're probably on Temur Rec. See what they do here. They could be on Temur Rec missing green right now. They can be on some sort of is it tempo style strategy. It's gonna be an Aether Gust potentially. I think we just try to maximize damage here. They have like Lightning Strike or something anyways, it kills the Steam-Kin. And they would have killed it in combat anyways. I feel like I've played this person before. Okay, no play. Clarion. Of course. So this plays worse into like another removal. Or like to fairy bounce. Of course they have.
I know my responsibility.
Trying to wait to get another land here.
Bad idea.
Okay. So since that's the case, I'm gonna go Skewer the Face, light up the stage, and then next turn I have Lavarunner that can attack into Teferi. And then I might bring Jegantha to hand. Plays around another Clarion. So this is a matchup I will bring the Karns in.
Oh, I've done the hero thing before.
Hey, thanks for the host, Magic. Actually, that's the... probably the best option here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to attack into the opponent. So I get 2 points of damage in here. Because if they have a board wipe and I play out both, they potentially would board wipe beforehand. These decks usually are not playing counter magic. I say as they play absorb. So we're punished that way. So we could have taken a chance and attacked into Teferi. I think at this point we have to. See if they react. Yeah, that was the problem with not taking down Teferi last turn. Allows them to instant speed board wipe. No plus this, so this is just a free bounce.
That's more like it.
Not out of it because we can just throw burn, but like us drawing all these lands hasn't been helping. Okay, that gets a counter out of them. It's interesting to see that they've gone with this many absorbs. You've seen a lot of these lists, like Jeskai wise, they're playing more so like Mind Stone to try to get ahead. They've effectively gained, well, they have gained 6 life back. We had him down to 7. see if they hold the Teferi here. Probably just plus it.
Don't worry.
That's interesting. Because you could have tempoed me with the Jegantha. I haven't played much Modern, really, in years. I had Pod, and then I had Is It Delver, and then they were both banned, and I lost a lot of money on those decks, so kind of stopped. So I think we're pretty much into garbage time with this one. Still play it out. They haven't shown a win con yet. So I want to see how they're winning, if it's Shark Typhoon, if it's Teferi Loops, if it's a Dream Trawler.
Hone your prowess.
They have their search, 5 cards in the grave. Okay, that's actually pretty good. This is going to come after Teferi. Instant Speed Clarion. So we're gonna beat down with Brazen Borrower. The interesting thing here is, do I care about Narset? Get some 1 card deeper, but they're pretty much at the point. I think we just point face. We just have to try to throw as much damage their way. Every 3 points we throw at these. Getting Teferi off makes sense, like if we do with the combat, but I feel they also have another Teferi in hand at this point. Okay, so they got Big Tef. Big Tef when this flips is going to be kind of a problem. I'm really just looking for like a Frenzy to try to pop off, get some damage in. This can't block, so I'm okay with that. So that was the one negative about playing this. We do get hit by Baffling End. I think at this point, if we don't draw... it's something. Again, I'm just pointing all damage up top. They don't really want to bounce this. If they tuck it, I'm okay drawing this in 3 turns. Their clock isn't the fastest. 7 turns with this. Even a Teferi ult, we have so many lands, we don't need to operate on that. We're not like a critical mass deck. If it weren't for those absorbs, they'd be at 2.
I've got it.
Oh, big spike in viewers. Awesome.
We need to move.
Thanks all tuning in. Steel by Heart, thanks for the follow. We're playing some Historic, trying to burn out our opponents. Getting Jeskai controlled. Opponent had some timely absorbs. Let's see what they do here. The old hard cast light up the stage. This version is running a whole bunch more counters than normal. They're running Sabotage, Essence Scatter, and that. Which is very odd. This is not probably where you want to be on a meta full of like goblins and stuff that get under you. Like Clarion's good against us. we know better for the next match, not to overcommit to the board. They're gonna have Aether Gusts.
I'll protect you.
How are we doing time-wise? Okay. Still quite a bit on the clock.
No time for a break.
So, if you haven't played against these Teferi decks before, and you're not familiar with Hero Dominaria, they don't really run the risk of ever milling out because you can just keep tucking your Teferi. They're eventually going to get to the ultimate. We're not focusing on it. I have 7 lands. Probably lost this game 1, but if Brazen Boar is their only attacker, they're not winning quick. I should have just played out the land. They have Absorb, so we're not resolving anything. I'm going to run them down a bit of clock. If we do have to go to game 3, it might make the difference. It's one of those decks that's feeling... I went 8-2 leading up to the start of this season with this deck. And Mythic. And now I can't buy a win. Also drawn more lands than I think we've ever seen before.
Let's skip to the good part.
It's just on a pass turn. A lot of that came down to that play where they had the counter when we tried to get in on Teferi. Another land. So this game's over. We're just gonna see. I want to see what other options they have in their deck. What we need to play around. How many more counters. I can scale back some of my creatures. Bring in more burn if they're gonna go more oriented with. So they have the ultimate with Tef, so they're just gonna pick off my lands.
Only time will tell.
Make it seem like we have something. Still got 4 more turns. How many lands have we drawn in these games? It's been ridiculous. Because the thing is, I tried 20, and we just ran into like getting mana screwed too often.
My worst defeat.
I might drop down to 20 after this, see how it goes.
Let's skip to the good part. I really should have seen that coming. I've got time.
I usually don't rely on clock to win, but with the opponent playing a very slow deck, it is a way to kind of play around. I want to see how their configuration is, because they've gone a little bit. And I also want to see how many lands we draw. Because the thing is, if I get like a shock or something, I just take out one of these Brazen Borers, and they may not have a clock otherwise.
It's only a matter of time.
Or even they do have this Absorb to counter it.
Here we go. Hold that thought.
So they have at least 3 Absorbs, 2 Baffling End main. They've shown 1 Sabotage, 1 Essence Capture, Scatter. Counter, bro. Okay. They also have Veto main. They are playing a large density of counters. we know they have the Absorb. I have nothing that can actually get me out of this. So I think at this point we concede. Because I don't think they have another way to attack in. So this matchup. Let's go Karn in here. It's really all we have for this matchup. Probably trim a Steam-Kin. We haven't seen much control, so I haven't really played, and the control matchup's usually okay. What's better? I think we trim the Ferocidons. Yeah, I think we just do this. Play these instead. These at least can kill a Planeswalker. So for those of you new to the channel, I am MTG Joe. Generally play a mix of everything on the channel. From Arena, when Standard's new and fresh, usually play that. I don't like Temur Rec that much, and the meta being predominantly Temur Rec hasn't got me too enthused. But really like Historic, try to brew a lot on the channel. All my deck lists are on Aether Hub. I do post as well on Instagram, same name, MTG_Joe2. Post a bunch of content there, deck lists a day. Try to find all the cool deck lists on the web. That's unfortunate. Would have really liked that Frenzy. Okay, so... I think I do this, and the reason being, if they Clarion, I don't want them to take this because this can at least deal damage to something else. That's fine. So you have Fire Prophecy, and then this can also clean up if they like down tick onto Fairy. That's fine. If they plus here, yeah, since they plussed, I'm gonna play out. That's actually solid.
Suppose that's how it was meant to happen.
So ideally, if they Clarion here or Shatter, then I play Karn and I start plussing it for card advantage. Don't have another thing in the yard. You know what? I'm actually gonna minus this turn.
Evil cannot withstand a righteous army.
Because if they have Big Teferi and they tuck this, ooh, that Baneslayer. Oh, card that I am not beating for 500.
The choices we make reveal who we are.
Give me Chainwhirler. The problem is the first strike is super relevant here. I need to wait till I can have 2 burn spells. So they attack here. So that's second frenzy or lightning strike. I think we just play out. Problem is they're gaining like 5 a turn. Clarion also doesn't do much here. I need to wait to try to have lightning strike in something. No. I'm not beating Baneslayer. We're on the floor. Let's just queue up another one. Some tough matchups thus far. Where are all the field players? Mono red generally doesn't want to be playing Clarion decks, and like my sideboard's not really geared. In Mythic, we are playing a lot of like sack decks, stuff like that. So this hand's a little bit of a trap. We play first. Maybe we keep it. Yeah, let's try. You usually want something to enable some of that burn. This is a field deck most likely. If you are playing against field, just throw all your burn at their face. Try not to give them an opportunity. I'm going to prioritize the card draw over the Wizard's Lightning right now. This is decent on its own as a later burn spell. If this is the Bant version, we need to be wary of Shatter the Sky. So we have Uro, there's 2 cards in the grave. I think we're okay, because even if they have Golos, I attack with both of them. They block one, and then I shoot down the Golos. It's just an Explore. Spiral. That puts... So they need 2 more cards. Dead. So that's a much better demo of the deck when you're just throwing lightning bolts at your opponent. So field matchup, generally Volcanic Fallout comes in, Tormod's Crypts, and we'll bring in a card advantage. You need to take away your companion in this matchup. Fanatical Firebrand does not do anything in this matchup, so we can cut that. They usually will have board wipes, so I will cut the Steam-Kins, especially on the play. Pillar of Flame over... I think I'd rather have the Pillar of Flame. 2 damage might just be the reach we need. This just gets swept up. There are also the Bant version, so they most likely have Teferis. So let's run it like that. I've had pretty good success against the field decks. They usually are a little too slow. They kind of want to do their thing. Okay, so this hand is a trap. We'll mulligan this. If this or one of these was like a Ghitu Lavarunner, we'd keep it. But with no real way to enable these, I don't think we can keep this. I think we do this. It's actually not bad, because I can go Viashino this turn. If I draw a land, then I can go Viashino, light up the stage. If I don't, I can go Wizard's Lightning, light up the stage, Pillar of Flame. Or if they did that, I'm going to go Pillar, attack them. Okay, so their hand is pretty gassy right now. They have 1 white source. So I think we do this. Wait to see if we draw lands. Okay, so we're just running lands here. was hoping for some more gas, to be honest. I mean, we put him at dead, basically. If they have the board wipe. They do. They just put out, like, a land. They make one zombie. No castle kind of hurts with this particular draw. Gum up the board pretty well. Volcanic Fallout. Clean things up. Oh. I usually will play out the land with Frenzy, just in case there's a good number of 1-drops. So I can't particularly Uro just yet, which is fine. Does put him up to 8. At this point, I'm just going face. The way we try to win this game is by doing exactly that. I think at this point, I'm inclined to trade. I have enough of a board presence where I need to. Slows him down, potentially gives me another turn. Stop with the lands. $10, $12. So I survive the turn. Really just comes down. Live by the frenzy, die by the frenzy. Okay, so it doesn't look like they brought in sweepers. I think we just run it back. That game was ours to win. If we literally hit anything other than running lands for that last little bit, we would have been okay. Even if we hit shock or any of our 2 damage effects, we had another Pyromancer in hand, we could have popped the Frenzy. We'll run this one, see how this game goes. If we lose, then I'll switch to Mono White Auras. Do anything. Okay, we'll keep this hand. I think that was a Malta 5 too. Or a Malta 6. Runner's actually pretty good here. I think we just throw all this damage at our opponent because I can't guarantee being able to play Frenzy next turn. Could have given him a ping there, a little love tap. Yeah, like so today when I was playing, I lost 2 matches because I kept 1 lander with a bunch of 2-drops in it and then just never drew out of it. So I think we're okay playing it this turn. This lets me pop off, and then having Ferocidon's really good in this matchup. It's kind of a must answer. If they have like an Uro, it also shuts off that life gain. So they got the shatter. Do they bring in vetoes? Card's good enough to keep on top. So probably stabilized here. I don't have a board state and they're already up to a lot of power. We bottomed the that would have been good. I think one of my Volcanic Fallouts is at the bottom. We have no way to shuffle. Yeah, and they got the passage, so I need like... How have I drawn every land in this deck? Okay, watch. We're gonna cut a land, and now I'm never gonna... Or I'm just gonna always be mana screwed. Okay, so we're cutting a land, we're going up another Steam-Kin. Proceed to draw nothing but lands. I was talking to someone today, they're playing 19 in Best of 1, but Best of 1 has the hand smoothing algorithm. Eight and 2 into 0 and 3. See if this is how the season goes. Okay, we'll keep this. I think we get a little greedy here. See if this is another field player. This is the Breach combo. So Jeskai Breach, they use Diligent Excavator and a bunch of 0 and 1 mana artifacts to cycle through their deck. With Underworld Breach, you usually want to kill this. This is the enabler of the deck. So they can bounce my Steam-Kin. Kind of hoping we drew a land. Like the Lightning Strike came up pretty good there. Okay. I'm going to get Ferocidon going. I've played this matchup before and the incidental ping damage actually does quite a bit. Chromatic Sphere is a new card, that, or an old card that was reprinted in the set. You usually want to kill Emery as well. It's one of the enablers with Mox Amber. And then these cheap artifacts, you can sack these and then cast them again to draw cards. So best draw would be one of our like 1 mana effects. Oh, that's actually solid. Do this. You want to limit the amount that they can play off it. Like the Diligent Excavators you want to take out. So this version is playing Lurrus. The Lurrus is hit or miss whether they play it or not. Ferocidon was better against the older version before they had these spheres and the Aether Bombs. Because they played the Stonecoil Serpent to loop it, and then each time that came in, you would be able to kill it with Ferocidon. They also played Ornithopter. One thing I'd suggest with this matchup increasingly is let your opponent play it out. There's a lot of people that are picking up these Breach decks and Kethis decks, and they're quite complicated to play. I had an opponent go through the entire game action and then pass through when they had the mana floating to be able to cast Thassa's Oracle. So what the opponent's here is looking for is a second Mox Amber. With a second Mox Amber, they can eventually generate enough mana potentially to cast Diligent Excavator. by looping them together. But they may just be dead. Gonna do this first, just in case we draw like running burn. Some of these decks will play Clarion main, some will have it in the sideboard. Okay, so they have the Excavator. If they have Breach, they could potentially win. Okay, they got Glass Casket. Glass Casket triggering off Excavator is pretty sweet. Cool, cool, cool. So do this, do this. Now they're forced to block here. They do have one more turn to potentially combo off. Bodes well as a start. Sick. This deck's pretty cool, like the one the opponent's playing. So in this matchup, obviously Crypt's very good. Bringing the Lava Coils to exile. This version here didn't really have anything that we want with the Chainwhirler. The Shieldbreakers are interesting. Like, you don't really want to blow up their artifacts because they just play them from the graveyard again. There's not much utility. I usually just find burning out your opponent is where you want to be. I'm going to get rid of the Firebrands, I think. There's not enough that it kills in the deck. I imagine they also have Teferi. I think Runaway is the worst card here otherwise. I don't think we want I think maybe on the draw we play a Firebrand versus light up the stage. Maybe just instead of these, just play this. Steam-Kin feels like a big tempo loss against a Teferi deck. And then this game usually doesn't go long enough where you really kind of go off with Frenzy. They can win, I think, turn 4 or 5 usually. Close. Okay, we'll keep this. Firebrand into Pyromancer. What we do need is something for... Oh, they went Ratchet Bomb. So obviously we're not going to put out our 1-drops. Differentiate our threats. So they'll probably make this decision on end step. See what they deputy here. We can play the Juke them, see if they'll... No. The reason I'm not is because even if this dies, they have the ability to clean up afterwards. And then we have Frenzy, so I don't want to really chance that. I brought in Deputy. Still okay, like we're just missing some burn. Second Frenzy is actually a good draw because they can pump this up over 2 turns. I think we just poke damage. I guess I should have waited, attacked first. They might have not blocked. Deputy here. So we know we're drawing Lava Runner. Well, we know we're drawing another Lava Runner. That was a heads-up play by the opponent. Well played by opponent. Put this in hand. If we can get just like another, or like we need 2 sorcery, instants or sorceries. So like bring this up to 3. They've kind of diluted their strategy though. So they can Tef. That's interesting. Well, I guess they want to bounce Jegantha. Let's do this. Let's do this. I think we just want Tef off the table. Oh, you know what? I messed that up. Oh, I'm an idiot. I had to attack 1 into them. Ah, misplay, misplay, misplay. So they might not have Clarion if they brought in the Ratchet Bombs and the Deputies. Seems a bit of a losing situation on their part. Okay, they have Breach. Well, this could just be Breach for the Deputy. They're doing the low value Breach here. Keeps them alive. So I'm gonna Firebrand the opponent. Light up the stage. Mana efficiency wise, this is the best play. Can play this next turn. Could pop off. This lets him bounce Jegantha. So we do want something to kill Luris. Ratchet Bomb still takes some turns. They can basically do this where they bounce my stuff every turn. They got this. That's pretty good tempo. They got the glass casket. Yeah, I think that turn I should have gone face with it. Because even here now, we need to decide what's more impact. That's kind of loose. Hey, Wraith Zero. Hey, thanks for the host, Titans. Neon Vision with the follow. And Sega Dragon with the follow. Were you running Burn Titans?
I've got it.
I need to get this off the battlefield right now. Just so they stop bouncing. Thanks, man. Thanks for stopping by. Burn has not been going well today. This morning was going great. The one good thing is this kind of holds off. Literally nothing but Aether Bombs they've drawn. Spear. Okay. Guess just set up their draw. They usually only play one Oracle. So I have 8 mana, pay 4. Just need like a burn spell. They're gonna keep bouncing my stuff every turn. Super annoying. I need to kill Lurrus. Oh, they just got the caskets. Okay, so I think if they brought in casket, we might want to. Hey. It's something. I'm tired of them bouncing everything. They have a Teferi to bounce, but that works anyways. Managed to draw more lands, I think, than I ever have as a mono red player. Okay, Skewer is still good. Actually think we do this. Jegantha for like the 9th time. Sick. They didn't have enough afterwards to breach. We took one. I'm gonna run this quick for best of one just to see. I do need to walk my dog. Historic ranked. I think in best of one, you're gonna want to have Chainwhirler potentially main. I feel like there's more goblins going around. This hand's sick. Oh, this deck's a pain. The Mono White Auras deck. This is the one I'm going to run next. Next stream we'll do Mono White Auras. It's very interesting. So we can kill this. Or I could Pyromancer. I think we just play to the board here. They seem pretty desperate of them. If I can go wide on them or get the Ferocidon down, I can deal some damage that way. Not as worried as Selfless Savior as the reprint one. Core something or another. Karametra's Blessing on it. Okay, so we got hit pretty hard there. Obviously not attacking this turn. Could have shut off the life gain with this, but I wanted to get a little greedy attacking with both. Sentinel's Eyes. Offense, defense on this is going to be a pain. And all that glitters. Yeah, missed our chance because now they can protect it. I need to just push through damage here. And the thing is, this turns off Pyromancer as well. Okay, Frenzy might potentially get us there. Puts the clock too quick. This deck's very good in best of one. Odd sequencing there. Yeah, because I can't even pop off with all my stuff. That deck's good. Let's play it a bit. Let me figure out the runs with it. Core Spirit Dancer, that's the card. I can go probably one or two more best of ones, depending on how long they take. Probably give this deck some run. I was hoping to do Burn for tomorrow, but this mono white deck, I've lost 3 times to it in best of 3. They can outpace a lot of the red removal. Alright, do you believe in the snake? Okay, you are a combo deck. Jeskai Breach. Okay, they have the Opal and the thing, so here we're just going to try to kill them as quick as possible. Probably just go another All That Glitters this turn. Excavator. Problem is with this against these combo decks, it might be difficult because we don't really have like, I guess it's just a race. Any of the 1-mana auras would be really good here. Sentinel's Eye. Aegis. Just something to pump this up. Okay, so this is the Dance of the Manse version. How about another land? This game's a race. We just need to throw out as much. They can have Aether Spellbomb. Okay, so I think they win now. Okay, so with Breach, they're effectively milling 2 a turn with these. Yeah, they got the combo. A little bit of an awkward hand. The opponent was playing fast enough that they seem like they know what they're doing, so I was playing against some this morning that were every play was very laborious, so let them play that out. Especially for best of one, we're just testing out this deck right now. No sense of hanging around when we're on the floor. If we do this, then go Core Spirit Dancer. So this one, as long as it's enchanted, deals combat damage equal to its toughness. And this one draws a card and gives flying. So there's actually like a really heads-up play one of my opponents had where they gave protection for white, had everything drop off when they had a Luris out, recast a lot of the auras. Let's do this. I think I want to keep protection up. Because then I can flash in solid footing on end step anyways. Okay, so Blast Zone's concerning because it's a way around this Core Spirit Dancer. Okay. Let's just try to maximize damage here. Ooh, and it gains indestructible. Sign me up. So what do these do? Flying. Deals damage with its toughness. Why doesn't it deal damage with its toughness? Oh, as long as it has vigilance. Oh, no, I screwed that up. We should still be fine. I have the point of damage coming through, but... Read your cards. So you can see how the deck kind of pops off. Core Spirit Dancer is like the engine of it. Run one more, and then I'll do a dedicated stream on this deck. I think it's very good. I think #1 Mythic last month was playing it. Yeah, let's keep this. Mine's down. You know what, I should have probably played this first. It's a Dimir deck. They most likely have removal. I think next turn, I guess it's a Karn deck. Dimir Karn.
My allies are counting on me.
Can they have just Meteor Golem? Shadow Sphere. I think we still take Karn off the battlefield.
There is always another fight.
Just bring Luris to hand. Have Luris ready. Set it up a turn where I can cast Luris, cast, oh, it's probably like a Nugan deck. That works pretty nice. So I think I want another land. Screw it. Let's go all in. We're not beating a Nugan anyways, so they have to have Ritual or Cry. This might be like a Tezzeret deck. Yeah, they're digging. Sick. Sick, sick, sick. Opponent can't beat it. Nice. Alrighty. Let's see. I'm going to wrap this one up. Let's see who's online. Can do a raid. Alright. Host the real Killadub. See if this is working. Otherwise, I appreciate everyone stopping by. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll be doing a bunch of historic gameplay. Everything I do play is on my YouTube channel, so you can always catch it there. I don't know why this raid's not working. Host the real Killadub. Anyways, I will figure that out another time. I appreciate everyone stopping by. You can catch all my content on YouTube, MTG_Joe. If you do want to join any conversations on my socials, MTG_Joe, the number 2 at the end, Twitter, Instagram, post a bunch of content there. Look forward to catching you in future streams. And if you did enjoy the content today, if you want to hit that follow button on Twitch for the next time we're going live, it's free and an easy way to help support the channel. Thanks everyone for stopping by, and have a great one.